Hello, Eddie. Here at GA Healthcare, we have recently been informed about a potential leak of company information. We are concerned that an employee here has been selling our proprietary information to a competitor. We have launched an investigation into the situation and have questioned the suspected leaker. The employee denies the allegations, but we still have our suspicions. We understand you keep sign-in logs of every library client containing their name, department, and service requested. Send me your sign-in data as soon as possible so that we can get accurate representation of the time this employee has spent in the library and the services they have used. Thank you, Corporate Management.
Management. I'm sorry to hear that it appears company information has been leaked. It is true that I keep a sign-in sheet to record library patron usage data. I do so to report to my administrators my workload and services provided. However, my intent is only to share aggregate data for the purposes of protecting the privacy of my library patrons. At this time, I do not feel it is appropriate for me to share this information. Thanks, Eddie Wilson.
Eddie, while we understand your intent to protect patron privacy, the data you have collected at work is the property of GA Healthcare. We expect that you cooperate and send the sign-in sheets over immediately. Management.
Hello.
Hi. So what's going on?
Okay, so I got an email from a company manager at work telling me that I need to send over library user information that I've collected.
What are you gonna do?
I'm not sure. I feel like I should be protecting their privacy. What do you think I should do?
That's a tough one. I don't know enough about the situation yet. Can you break it all down for me?
Yeah, okay. So apparently there's someone that they suspect of leaking information from GA Healthcare. An employee has been selling information to a competitor.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely not good. But it doesn't sound like they have any concrete evidence at this point, and they want me to share the sign-in sheets that I record to report my workload and services provided to my administrators. I guess they feel that if they know when this employee has been in the library and what they've been doing, they'll be able to tell if they've been selling this information or not. I just want to make sure that I'm making the most ethical decision here.
Okay. So what do they actually record on these sign-in sheets?
On the sign-in sheets, they will record their name, their department, and the services that they're requesting.
I can see where you're conflicted. As librarians, there are ethical principles we need to maintain, and I can see how some of these principles might be in opposition here. You have a duty to respect the company's intellectual property, but you also have a responsibility to respect your patrons' privacy.
Exactly. Yeah, so how do I prioritize one over the other? Either the company's intellectual property or the patron's privacy.
Okay, so who are the parties involved here?
Okay, well, on one side, obviously we have GA Healthcare, the
Mhm.
corporate entity that wants to protect its proprietary information. And on the other side, we have the patrons of the library, employees of GA Healthcare, and the right to search for information with confidentiality.
Okay, I think it's important to consider the setting here. You don't work in a public library. You work in a private corporate library. The rules are a little bit different in those two environments. You have to operate under the policies and practices of GA Healthcare. Do they have policies about privacy as it relates to library usage?
As far as I know, employees are informed about surveillance in the workplace.
Okay. Um, so then I don't think employees can have any expectation of privacy. It may be that they are ideally granted more privacy, but given that they are informed about surveillance, their employment is in agreement to those terms.
I suppose that's true. Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at our options here. To provide the information or not provide the information, that's the question, right?
Yeah.
So option one, provide the information. What happens then?
Well, if I provide the information, I assume they use it to see what the employee in question has done in the library. Um, at which point, if they feel they can determine that this employee was the one to sell the company information, they'll take whatever action I guess they see fit. If
Okay.
they determine it was not this employee, uh, then I'm not sure where they go from there.
Well, I suppose they may move on or they may use the records you provided to look for other suspects.
I hadn't even considered that they might use my records to look beyond the suspected employee that they're investigating now.
I think it's something you should account for. Um, Given that employees are informed about workplace surveillance, I don't think they can reasonably have an expectation that reviews of their library usage history are not taking place.
Still makes me a bit uneasy giving away their usage information.
I can understand that. So let's look at option number two. You decide not to hand over the sign in sheets. What do you think happens next?
Well, I suppose management may not be very happy with me. They would have to continue their investigation without my sign-in sheets.
Does anyone else have access to those sign in sheets?
No, it's just me. I only provide my administrators with the aggregate data, and only I have access to the full records.
So, is there a way they could obtain them without your permission?
That, I guess, is the main thing I am worried about. Um, Management told me that because it's data recorded at work, that it's company property, and that they have every right to access and review it.
Um, it sounds like you could be facing legal action if you don't comply, or maybe not legal action, but personnel action. They could potentially seize your computer or look at your files. Um, I imagine you might be facing disciplinary action, including being fired. Is that something you want to face? Is it worth taking a stand on this one?
I'm not sure. I don't know in this case.
Um, I would say probably not so much. I'm not saying that because I'm not just saying that because I care about you and you're my colleague. I want to help protect you. I think that given all the information you have shared with me, company management is well within their rights to ask for the sign-in sheets, and then giving them over is the most ethical decision you can make. The company's property is being stolen and sold to a competitor. They're right to want to do what they can to put a stop to that. And I think you should support them in doing so. If the company was violating promises of privacy, the situation might be different. But they have informed employees that surveillance practices are in place and employees have agreed to those terms. It doesn't sound like they're going to use this information for malicious purposes, only to protect what they own. I think you should send the sign in sheets to management.
Yeah, you make very good points there. I think you're right. In the future, I guess I just need to be more careful about collecting patron usage data that I might feel should be protected, as long as I'm doing so at my current job. Um, those records will be accessible to management. I guess I wouldn't be in this mess if I hadn't taken those detailed records.
Well, who, did you start that process on your own or did you just inherit it from a predecessor?
I inherited it, but it was nothing that management said needed to be done. It was mostly just to control my own workload and let administrators know exactly what I was doing on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. So that might be something you want to think about if you need to continue doing it.
I agree. Well,
So, anything else out there to talk about?
no, I think that covers it. I'm gonna go send the sign-in sheets now. Thanks for helping me through this.
No problem. Have a good afternoon.
Hello, management. Sorry for the delay. This data belongs to you, and I'm happy to share it with you. I look forward to continuing to serve GA Healthcare. I hope you're able to find the person selling the information. Good luck, Eddie Wilson.